I am so
Watch it falling for me. I love the way that feels. Dollar bills, keep on falling for me. I love the way it feels. I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money. Drop some money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Twerking, when I buy the things I like.
Once upon a time, a woman who called by Nisa has been got a baby girl. She was on postpartum period, and she wanted to go home as soon as possible, so she can take care her baby by herself.
Dear, can you call the midwife? I want to ask her when I can go home.
Okay, honey, I will immediately go to the midwife and I ask about it.
The husband walked away from his wife's room. There he found the midwife, Fatim, who was busy recording a document.
Assalamualaikum, excuse me.
Waalaikumsalam. What can I do for you, sir?
So, miss, I want to meet the midwife who helped my wife. Lisa got birth yesterday to ask if my wife can go home or not.
Oh, wait a minute, sir. I'm sorry, the midwife is having patient now. If she has finished her job, I will immediately tell her to go to the Mrs. Nisa's room.
Okay, miss, thank you.
You are welcome, sir.
After the husband turned to the Mrs. Nisa's room and the other patient has been checked, midwife Leah visit her room.
Assalamualaikum Miss Nisa, how are you?
Waalaikumsalam. I'm fine, ma'am. I want to ask you, can I go home?
Actually, you are allowed to go home 24 hours after labor, but we can't just let them go home because there are risks that there will be complication after giving birth. So we will do a physical check to make sure everything is okay.
Okay, ma'am, because I'm still worried about my condition.
So we will do physical check for head to toe. Are you ready?
Alright, ma'am.
Miss, can you help me to check the vital sign? I will wash my hands first.
Sure, ma'am.
The assistant did what the midwife told her to do. She started doing vital sign.
Excuse me, ma'am. I will check your blood pressure, your pulse, your respiration, and your body temperature. I have done doing the vital sign, and everything is normal. Your blood pressure is 120 per 80, and then your respiration is 20 times per minute, and your pulse is 85 per minute, and your body temperature is 36.8 Celsius.
Thank you, Miss. Okay, ma'am, I will start doing a systemic physical examination.
The midwife also conduct a physical examination starting from the head to the mother's lower leg in a systematic and structured manner.
Ma'am, after doing the examination, I found that the mother's condition was normal. There was no tenders and lumps on the head, and the sclera of the mother's eye were pale, and the conjunctiva was pink. There was no discharge from the nose and ears. The mouth was clean, the lips were not cut. There was no discharge, swelling of the thyroid gland limb and jugular vein, no swelling of the breast, no lump, and colostrum is present.
How about my stomach? The pain is still at here.
An abdominal examination is also good. Uterine contraction are good. Uterine fundus is 1 finger below the center, and the pain that the mother feels is normal because uterine contraction and contraction occur, causing pain and will decrease slowly. Likewise with the mother's vagina, there are no stitches and lochia fluid comes out.
What is lochia, ma'am? And when to stop it?
Okay, so lochia is fluid that is released from the uterus through the vagina during the puerperium. Normally, this lochia does not smell bad and will stop slowly until the 14th day when the lochia is white.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I thought it was bleeding.
It is normal, but you should pay attention to the cleanliness of the genitalian organs by changing underwear as often as possible. Maybe that's all I can say. Please rest first, ma'am. Later, I will come back here again. Okay?
After a while, the midwife visit Mrs. Nisa again.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Waalaikumsalam, ma'am.
So, ma'am, I've checked you before and your condition is normal. I want to give counseling, or maybe there is something you want to ask for me before you go home.
Ma'am, my milk isn't enough. I cannot breastfeed with my full potential. Can you tell me why this has happened?
Before the mother's physical examination said that the mother's nipples were protruding and there was colostrum discharge. If the milk output is not smooth, it usually happens until 3 days after giving birth.
Then what should I do, ma'am?
You can continue to breastfeed your baby because the baby's sucking will stimulate the production of the hormone prolactin, which helps the production of breast milk. Don't forget to also consume vegetables such as katuk leaves and drink lots of water.
Okay, I will cook katuk leaf for my doctor-in-law. But what about the baby midwife if she doesn't get a lot of milk?
It's okay, ma'am. There is no need to worry because in the newborn's body, there is still a lot of fluid outside the cell, so he does not need large amounts of fluid in the first day. After maybe 3 until 4 days, the fluid will decrease.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your explanation.
You're welcome, ma'am. Midwife Lia, please help me to check the vital sign.
Okay, ma'am.
After the TDV check is done by the midwife Leah,
I have done doing the vital sign and everything is normal. Your blood pressure is 120 per 80 and then your respiration is 20 times per minute and your pulse is 85 per minute and your body temperature is 36.8 Celsius.
Thank you, Midwife Lia. Okay, ma'am. Now I will help you to recognize whether your uterus is contracting well or not. Excuse me, ma'am. Please press the side of your uterus on this side. Palpable if the uterus feels hard.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It feels hard.
Okay, please, husband and mother-in-law, can you please feel the belly of the mother?
Midwife, I feel so strong in the stomach.
Good. The mother and family already know how to the condition of the mother's uterus is in good contraction.
So, when can my wife come home?
After this, mother can go home, but there are some things that you need to pay attention to. The first is maternal uterine contraction.
Really? What's wrong with my wife's uterine contraction?
When you feel your stomach feels soft, you should immediately take it to my clinic, sir, because there may be conditions that we must observe carefully to avoid complications that can be dangerous for the mother. And then the second is the amount and color of the postpartum mother's blood. If the mother feels that the blood that comes out is too much, then immediately take the mother to the clinic, sir. Yes, it is true, ma'am.
Ma'am, then for eating, are there any taboos for me?
No, ma'am. I'm suggest you to increase your protein intake to speed up the healing process of the mother's perineal store.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm still afraid to urinate. because I'm worried that my wound will be infected.
You don't have to worry, ma'am, as long as you can maintain good hygiene. You should not hold back urination because this can affect the contraction of your uterus. You should still regularly clean the wounds of your perineum.
Oh, that's right, ma'am. I feel more relieved. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Miss Lutfiyah, can I ask for you to help mother prepare for her return?
Yes, midwife.
Te va a desatar.